Welcome to the Autosportradio.com 2020 show. We are, as we have been since the lockdown, at the Grand King Race Shops at 8155 Crawfordsville Road. And as I always remind you, when things lighten up and you get a chance, you got to come down here and take a look. It's really quite a fascinating place, a working museum. Today's show is presented by Honda and Honda HPD, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the NTT IndyCar Series, SVRA, and McGilvery's Pub and Eatery and Speedway. And incidentally, we're doing this on Friday, and Friday they're opening for the first time on the patio, but McGilvery's is open. Founded in 1993 to spearhead Honda's entry into IndyCar racing, Honda Performance Development has overseen the successful racing efforts at all levels of the sport, from karting and quarter midgets to IndyCar and prototype sports cars. HPD offers race engines and competition products for professional, amateur, and entry-level racers. For more information about HPD and the company's racing product lines, please visit hpd.honda.com. And if anybody out there watching has a problem with computers like I do almost on a daily basis, we have a new computer guy. It's an A+ affordable computer doctor. Steve Freeze is a doctor. He makes house calls. Give him a call, tell him your problem. If need be, you can stop by and take care of it. Number is 317-328-0766. And if it's time for your next dental visit and you go, oh no, I can tell you how to go, oh good, go to the Indy Dental Group. Indy 500 veteran Dr. Jack Miller and his wife, Dr. Liz Lewis, have a phenomenal practice, the highest rated in the state. You'll love them. Number is 317-846-6125. If you are looking to have a corporate outing down in Florida and you want to do racing, why not go to the Anderson Race Park in Palmetto, Florida? They got a 1 mile course. You can take your corporate, you can go there, get training, see if your kid is qualified to drive or is capable of driving. They have everything for you. So if you're thinking about it, check out the Anderson Race Park in Palmetto, Florida. And if you've ever wondered, why do these guys and gals like to drive Indy cars? Well, why don't you find out for yourself? Take a ride in the Indy Racing Experience 2-seater. They can take you for a ride, and you go on their line at indyracingexperience.com, find a date that works for you. And in the promo box, put DK1 and you get a 50% discount, or you can call the office, talk to Shonda, number is 317-243-7171. The time to renew your home, your car, or your commercial property insurance. Do what most of us have done, call Mike Pardee at VP Insurance. They're located at 5004 West 16th Street in Speedway. They can help you, and you'll find you get better coverage for less money. Give Mike a call. The number is 317-248-0070. And if you are a vintage or Trans Am fan, you got to go to svra.com and subscribe to Speed Tour magazine. Great stories, great pictures, first-class magazine. You find out everything that's going on. And plus, you'll have their schedule. They just came out with a couple of their events upcoming that are on the docket. So go to svra.com, subscribe to the magazine, and check out their schedule. Do you happen to have a vintage car? Would you like one? Grand King Shop has a couple for sale, but if you have one need restoration, give them a call. They can help you. The number here is 317-820-3595. Tell them what you got or what you're looking for. They'll help you. If you need engine repair, they can help you with that as well. And if you decide to come and take a tour, call ahead. Make sure they're here. The number again is 317-820-3595. Now, we are very privileged. I am very privileged to have a young lady from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. She came on with Hellman Racing and was the senior vice president in charge of all the activities that take place at the Speedway. We're going to find out what has changed and what's going on. Please welcome Allison Melangton. Allison, thanks for being here.
Hello, thanks for having me today.
In the past years, you have been very busy because many things going on.
Yeah.
With the transition from Hellman Racing to Penske Entertainment, how has your job changed, if at all?
You know, I would say that the biggest change has been just making sure that we are pivoting in all the ways that Penske wants us to, in just doing things a little bit differently. Roger knows racing so well, and he's very focused on looking at some of the things that we have been working on for a long time but haven't actually changed. You know, some of the way we present events, and so it's been great working with him. He's here a lot, and that's been an incredible benefit to me, Doug, and Mark, and all the other leaders here to get his perspective on things. And his team, he's got a couple people from Penske that he brings with him. We've had great communication, great discussions, looking across the horizon and the things we want to do here. So it's been inspiring, and it's been really fun, to get to work alongside Roger, and as successful as he is, and knowing racing the way he does, it's been a really great experience.
I understand when he has staff meetings that they may be discussing something that has nothing to do with you, but he'll ask your opinion. They tell me he wants to hear from everybody.
Yeah, he is incredibly collaborative. He does ask a lot of opinions, on every decision, which is great because he's getting feedback and he wants to know, he's learning about this place and about the race from our side. One of the most interesting things for me in this last 6 months has been really understanding that he knows that, certainly the paddock area, the garage area, the pits, and the race, but the larger part of what we do for events, starting with at 6 a.m. the cannon blast and getting people lined up at gates and getting them through, and security checks and getting them to their seats, and all the different things that we've done to try to really make sure fans know where they're going and how to navigate the world's largest single-day sporting event. That part's new to him and his team because they haven't seen it from that side. So they do ask our opinions all the time. How do you feel? How do you think fans will feel about this if we made this change? How do you think, they would appreciate this or not this? And so it's very engaging, very collaborative. And I love that he gets into the detail. I'm a very detail-oriented person, and he is too. And there's no detail too small. And I love that because then you can make sure that you're crossing all your T's and dotting all your I's. And particularly in this COVID situation, it's been great to have him in the detail.
Well, one of the detail-oriented people that you say you are is obvious from the Super Bowl. It is still being reported as one of the finest that they've ever had in the entire 55 or 56 years. And by Greg's Doyle's article a few days ago, he mentioned what a great city Indianapolis is to host anything because everything is downtown. You don't have to get a bus and go 40 miles north to get it. It's all there. So
right.
in the event, of course, Mother Nature, somehow you talked her into giving good weather, which was spectacular as well. Now, you got appointed to have joined the board of Edge Mentoring. What is that?
Yes. So Edge Mentoring is a wonderful organization that's trying to connect, in a formal way, connect younger professionals with older professionals. So someone like me that would have the opportunity to try to work with some younger professionals on their sort of holistic growth, ways to really embrace personal growth, professional growth, and things like that. I'm an absolute believer in mentorship. I had great mentors. I would not have had the opportunities and the success that I've had without great mentors. And I also believe in giving back. And so I serve on the Edge Mentoring Board with a lot of wonderful people who invest in younger people and time and talent and wisdom.
And also the 100th running of the 500 back in 2016 was recognized by Sports Business Journal as the sports event of the year. That had to make you feel really good.
You know what? That was one of the highlights of my career. And, I've had a lot of great opportunities over the years. I've worked at 9 Olympic Games and lots of things, but the 100th running of the Indy 500 is at the top of the list. And to get recognized by Sports Business Journal after that as event of the year was really special because our team put their heart and soul, they do every year, into the race. But that year was particularly challenging because there was so much pressure on us and so more people came. So to get that recognition was fantastic.
Before Mark called you and tried to talk you, or maybe didn't have to talk you into coming to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, are you a race fan? Did you know a lot about racing?
I don't know a lot about the technical part of racing, but I have been a huge Indy 500 fan. Since I moved here in 1983, I came from Colorado. I went to most of the races. My husband's a huge race fan. So we always made race day a huge part of our life. And so to come on the inside and see it from an organizer's perspective, has just been incredible. And the Super Bowl was hard on many levels, but I will tell you, overseeing the planning for the Indy 500 is harder because you've got event weather. And so for us, the Super Bowl was inside, and while we had weather to deal with, getting people in, once they were into their seat, they were going to be safe and comfortable. This place, as you all know, is a completely different place when you've got weather in May. And so that's got its own challenges.
You are, if I'm not mistaken, in charge of getting the talent that comes in and putting all the events that take place during the weekend, some of which would be going on today,
yep,
were it not been for this COVID-19 situation. But when everything fell apart and was canceled and moved, are you bringing in any other talent? Because obviously the talent booked other events if they could do it, which probably they
yeah.
could. But are you?
Yeah, and by the way, that's a team effort between Doug, Matt Mindrum, and I. It's a team effort all the way on trying to get all the right talent. August will be a little different. I think we don't have the concerts in August because the number one focus was getting the Indy 500 in, and to be able to have enough flexibility to get the race in, and maybe start the race, earlier if weather need be, or later. We decided that for August, because everything's going to be a little different, to not have the concerts, but those will be back next May. I will say that on our race broadcast this Sunday, which is going to be an incredibly exciting broadcast, and we hope everybody watches NBC at 2:00. We created a special pre-race for that, and we've got some what I would consider to be celebrities in that. The national anthem is going to be fantastic, led by Sheryl Crow. And then we flew 2 doctors from the Mayo Clinic here who are a viral sensation from their singing Imagine in the Mayo Clinic lobby. We brought them here last week for filming, and they're going to sing God Bless America. And we filmed it on the track, and it was absolutely, I don't know, I can't even tell you, it was as moving as any pre-race since I've worked here. So that'll air on Sunday. So coming back to celebrities, we've got a few that we had in this week that we are showcasing on our broadcast on Sunday.
And I think if I read the article in the Indy Star correctly, you're going to have Alexander Rossi and Simon Pagenaud on the start-finish line prior to the start of the race as well.
Yes, and it's so interesting. Their commentary is fabulous because I think it's the first time that they've talked to each other about the epic battle they had last year at the end of the race. And so their insights and their commentary about what they were thinking about each other and how they felt about it are really interesting. And, they were like 2 little kids when we got their cars on track to film. They weren't able to go their regular speed because we were actually filming them, and we had social distancing with their team and so forth. But when their eyes were lit up like little boys at Christmas when they got in their cars, because it's been so long. And they were going about 60 miles an hour around the track, which was not fast enough for them, but good for our filming. And so they're a big tease, part of the opening of the show on Sunday, and then the part of the re-airing of last year's broadcast with their commentating.
One thing I enjoy about the telecast now, and I don't go to near as many races that I used to, and I have NBC Gold, so I can watch. I think Paul Tracy and Townsend Bell are excellent commentators because they're almost opposites of how they drove. Because Paul will look at something and they go, "Oh, look at that! He says, that's nothing. I've done that. It's just racing incident. Let's go."
Right. And we had Mike Tirico here from NBC Sports. He drove down from Detroit, and that was, Mike loves this place. He loves the race. He's the host of the show, and he just did an incredible job.
You managed to secure a lot of interesting things and make them happen. The sad part is, this year when things should be going on right now, when I shouldn't have any time, you wouldn't have time to talk to me on a bet.
Right.
But with what's going on, is there any concern that it might not happen in August? Are there plans in the event that happens, or is everything full bore for the 23rd?
We're full steam ahead. Certainly we don't want to, we're working with the city officials and state officials on a weekly, if not daily basis. And, we need Hoosiers to continue doing what they have asked us to do, which is to stay socially distant, wear face masks in public, use the hand sanitizer, wash our hands so we can slow down the spread of this disease. And if we're all doing those things and everyone's working together, I think the horizon in August looks great. If Indiana or Marion County have a setback because people are not doing those things, then we may have a challenge. But right now, we have full faith that all Hoosiers are doing what they're supposed to do, and August will be nice and clear from a virus perspective, and we are full steam ahead.
Well, I can tell you a lot of people that email me and send me messages, and in fact call, can't wait for this thing to happen. And they said, it should be now. It should be this today, this weekend.
Right.
But it's not. So in honor of that, I had Joni Voiles and her sister Patty on. I recorded them yesterday because it's their dad's 70th anniversary of his win in 1950. So we talked about that and where they lived and what they did and who lived there and all that kind of interesting to see what happened back in 1950.
Yeah.
I marvel at what you do and the way you do it and the things that you handle. It's so like you're at ease. It's just, this is how it's done. This is the way we do it, and you go out and do it.
Well, thank you. It's been interesting because I've done so many things, but there's never an opportunity that you don't have for professional growth. And if you had said to me in the last 40 years while I've been doing this career of all these sports events, will you ever face a global pandemic where your entire event plan is turned upside down? I would have thought no, but now we're in it. And the way we've approached it with our team is don't let the distraction be a distraction, and we're going to keep moving forward and control what we can control. And what we can control is our response to handling it and keeping people safe. But I can't control a global pandemic. And so our response to it is what we've all been focused on here. And I love this team. Doug and I are great personal friends and great work teammates. And, sort of hand in hand, we're working through all these issues. And I couldn't ask for a better group of people to work through these challenges with.
And I find it very interesting that Roger, you would think he'd say, gee whiz, why did I do it this year of all years? But he has said, this isn't a problem, it's an opportunity.
That's exactly what he says.
Yes.
That is a quote. And effort equals results. He says that a lot too. He was here yesterday. We had the whole day with him, and he is steady. And he's a great leader for us right now, because as we're methodically working through plans and deadlines and everything, he's right there with us and encouraging us and saying, yep, you guys are right on track. That's where I want you to be. So it's been great.
Are you doing anything special for the NASCAR race with the IndyCar running on the road course prior to? Are you doing anything special, any entertainment or shows planned for there?
We're still working through some of the NASCAR weekend because it's on the front end of when the city and state feel like it's going to be safe to open up. So I would say that we haven't added things. We're going to try to keep things simple so we can make sure that we've got our best opportunity for success for the weekend. But it being the first doubleheader with NASCAR and IndyCar, we're totally excited about that. It's going to be great. NASCAR will have several races under their belt, and IndyCar will have their June 6th race in Texas under their belt, and then coming together, I think will feel great. The two series haven't raced before together, and bringing them together, especially when the country's been so separate, everyone's been individually isolated, I think it'll be fabulous. And
you also have an 8-hour road race that's coming in that Roger is bringing. A lot of people are excited about that. And then there's a second road race that IndyCar will be running later in the season. So this is going to be busy.
Yeah, we're going to be busy. And we want to be busy. That's, we are a racetrack, and we are a place where we welcome people. And, we're focused on getting both of those things done well this year, even in the middle of the global challenge that's going on. I think for Indianapolis, us getting cars back on track is really important, because the spring, which was packed with events between the Indiana Sports Corp events and the conventions and so forth, and those things had to be postponed. And so we've all got to get slowly back to business. I think we'll probably, be the first to get cars, back on track anyway, locally, and get events back on. And we're working well with our other leaders and venues in town. We have calls all the time trying to learn from each other and collaborate together. So that's also been great. This city is amazing at pulling people together. And even in this COVID situation, it's of course still happening.
Well, I think you've got another person in your pocket to help try and advance so that the Speedway gets up and running, and that's the governor, who is a huge race fan. In fact, he went to school, as you probably know, with Tim Cindric, the president of Penske Racing. So you can be sure he's on your side, and anything they can do to make it happen, he'll be behind you.
Yeah, the governor and the mayor both have been so supportive and staying in touch with us all the time. And again, it comes down to, is everybody in Indiana and particularly Marion County doing what they need to do to keep our numbers down? And that in the end will dictate what happens here. And we are anticipating that all Hoosiers are doing what they need to do.
Well, I've been told if you tour the racetrack now, you'll be amazed. Go out and
You would not believe it. I
Yeah.
can't wait to get everybody out here. The transformation of this facility since people were here last is nothing short of remarkable. What Roger and Doug and John Lewis have led in the physical infrastructure changes is it's remarkable. And I don't want to say it's a completely different place. It's got the same bones, but it will feel different, especially to the people who have been to this race for years and to this place for years, and they know the facility inside and out. They will be really pleased.
I heard that Roger, another one of his big concerns is he wants this to be a fan-friendly place that people will want to come because it's extra special. And I think from what I hear, he's accomplishing that. And he personally, but all the people and all the ideas are coming together. And I found it kind of interesting. I ran into you, not literally, of course, at the main entrance when they raised the flag for Joseph Newgarden's championship. Yeah. And I said, it looks to me like the first thing that he did when he took over is he put a flagpole, which was never in front of the admin building, but right away there was one put up. Interesting.
Roger loves flags. You will see more flags going up around here. I think around the week of June, a week around June 1st. But flags symbolize racing, and they also symbolize, great venues. And so we'll be putting up more flags. And I love that flag in our front doorstep at the moment. It's awesome.
And he also took the Indianapolis Motor Speedway sign over the tunnel entrance and the main entrance. It was kind of hard to see. Yeah. He changed it completely around. Now it's black during the day and it's lit up at night and you can see it. There's no question. What is this place? You can see it.
Yes, we added light to both of them, which, at dusk, it's just gorgeous when the lights come on. And so, if you come by at 2 a.m, both of our entrances are lit up, which looks great. There's a lot of work that's been done, landscaping inside the track. I think I can say the grass never looked better. They've spent a lot of time working on the grass, and, Roger will say, I want it to look like Augusta, and it will. Jason Stewart and our grounds crew have been working overtime, and it looks fantastic. I know that you mentioned, the restrooms. I will tell you, particularly for the women and the men, you're going to have a completely different restroom experience here than you've ever had before, and it's much improved. And when people go to a venue, they want to be able to use a great restroom. They want water and they want shelter if they need it. And we're trying to provide all those things. Well,
I know what you have done since you've arrived. I've been, as has everybody else, been impressed with what you've done, what you've brought to the Speedway from your 20, 25, 15 minutes. How you've been doing this. You're too young to have done it for 40 years by all.
Yeah, 40.
But I think what you've done is spectacular, and the people you've attracted and the events you put on have been nothing short of great. I know the people we bring there's about 18 in our group that come from all over the country for the race.
Yeah.
And they can't wait to see the concerts and stuff. They said it's the only place in the world that's got it. Does it?
Yeah. We are excited to get things back on track. We love that the governor uses the phrase, we're getting back on track in Indiana, because that, and I think he literally means that with us also. And I think Sunday on the broadcast, it'll feel more like we're getting back on track because people will be able to see activity here. And, we tried to do a program this weekend between today, Carb Day, tomorrow, Legends Day, and the weekend where people can celebrate the Indy 500 at home. It's called 500 at Home, and activities for that. Today on our social channels, you don't want to miss this. Doug Bowles did an interview with Sammy Hagar and Brett Michaels, who both have played at Carb Day, and had a little jam session as sort of a virtual Carb Day. So that'll go out on our social channels today, which is going to be awesome to give people that little Carb Day flavor. So we're trying to still rally the community. I know this town of Speedway has just done a great job in residents. It's still May in Speedway is their hashtag, and that's been getting really a lot of traction also, which we love that. It is still May in Speedway, and people are still decorating, putting out flags, starting to eat out at the restaurants and everything. So that's all important for us all getting back on track.
Well, I know I'm looking forward to where do you find your social events that are being streamed? Where do you go to find them?
You can go to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Facebook page, which is where the virtual Carb Day is going to run. Our Twitter account has a lot of activity on there, and then ims.com also. So if anybody wants to follow along with us, those would be the 3 places to do it.
And of course, on Sunday at 2 o'clock on NBC.
Yeah.
Is it NBC, the national network, or is it a sports network?
It's national network, and it's nationwide. The other great thing about our Sunday broadcast is we have an opportunity to recognize Officer Breanne Leith, whose funeral that we had here,
right.
Which was one of, I'm old and I've worked a lot of events. That was a remarkable day when we had her service here. And so for a national broadcast audience, we're able to, acknowledge her sacrifice and her contribution to the city through some great footage there. So that'll be good for her family.
Well, it sounds like can't wait for Sunday to come at 2 o'clock, but there's things going on ahead of time, and go on your Facebook page or IndyCar or IndianapolisMotorspeedway.com. You'll find it and watch it. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. You have been busy. You have been putting things together.
We're still busy, trying to make sure we keep everybody informed and engaged. And we want people to still celebrate May and racing, even though it's not here now, it's in August. But, Hoosiers are proud of hosting the 104th running of the Indy 500. It's a global event. It's here annually. It brings people together. It brings people out of their homes in May, and porch parties and all the other great things that we do. And we want people to still do that in a safe and socially distant environment with their families, gather around the television on Sunday, and feel like you have a piece of the race. It's a void in everybody's heart right now. You wouldn't believe the emails and texts that Doug and I get, people saying, I miss May, I miss coming out there. So we've created these activities for people to still feel like maybe they have just a little piece of May.
Well, I'm sure it will be spectacular. You can rest assured I'll be watching.
Okay, good.
I'll cut the grass early and do some plantings that have been given to me. We got some plants to put in the ground. Oh boy, but I'll be there. I want to thank you for your time. I know how busy you are, and trying to get you is not the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah, sorry. My calendar's been
that's the way it is.
Chaos.
I've been doing this for over 40 or 30 years, so I know people are busy, and when we have the opportunity, you're kind enough to come on, and I want to thank you for doing that.
Well, good. Thank you. It's good to see you, even if it's virtually.
Yes, always good to see you. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. My guest has been Allison Melangton. She is the vice president of Penske Entertainment, and she watches over everything that goes on in the Speedway, and some of the stuff that just gets recorded and is going to air, she's involved in that. Great to have her here. We'll be doing some more recording upcoming shortly. In fact, I've got the next one we're doing. We're going to visit with the gentleman that handles this, the scheduling and the NBC television program, putting everything together, getting the events and working with promoters. We're going to see what that's all about. He's been busy too. So thanks for watching. Thanks for Allison for being with us. Until next time, Don K. saying, see ya.